And
because
now
I was in
it will,
construction.
there's always that toiletry
And
phase.
so-
Oh, yes, am I gonna lose
No,
anything,
And how
or
you
is it gonna go
how am
through?
I gonna
Construction
get that all
and
through?
You know, now you
security
don't
and
have,
stuff
like
no matter
that,
what age
so
you are,
I've
you
been
don't have
doing
to take your
that.
shoes
I've
off.
often thought if I wanted to.
And I
put
just
it
turned
up, maybe I should
75
go
and I just
downstate,
was able
see if they
to
got
not
something
have
in
to
the
take my
construction
shoes off.
department there that they
That
need
was
help
the
with.
beauty of
They
turning
might.
70.
They might, there's so much to maintain on that campus, oh my goodness. All the buildings probably need to have surveys done, and this one needs a roof, and that one needs windows, and this one needs whatever, you know, over time. Cause some of them are pretty old, I mean, Marston and Beardshire and
Oh, I
some of
didn't
those,
saw the
McKay
architecture.
is getting old, and they're
Yeah.
all just,
yeah.
Oh, I,
They've
just
kept
said
them
it.
in good shape, I think, they've done a
Said
good
no
job, but
voting.
correct, yeah,
millions
so I
and
think it's
millions of
just,
dollars in maintenance probably.
probably this
Yeah.
is the direction we're headed,
And
does
new,
that sound good? That's my
obviously.
guess.
I mean, just the stadium alone has gotta be, I can't imagine what they have to put into that thing. Keep it clean, organized and maintained and
So how long are you gone?
I get back on Labor Day on the
anyhow.
first, so it's a good week and a half.
Well,
So
Yeah,
you
it's like a
only going
pretty
to
short
Ireland, or
agenda
you
tonight.
going?
Just Ireland, gonna head south after the
furnace went for
game
my air
and
conditioning went out, so the
had
guy
met some
just showed
folks
up. I had to
from
leave him
England on a
working on
cruise
one.
a
I
few years
came
ago,
here,
and
so
they're
I
gonna
think
come
I'll be
over and
back
join
in
us, and we're
30
gonna
minutes,
call Southern Ireland.
Oh,
And they-
wow,
and they-
that should be
And
beautiful.
they've set up all those courses. It's fun.
You never know, though.
There
You
you go.
never know.
I'd like to call the meeting to order for the August 18th, 2025 Polk City Planning and Zoning Commission. Could we have a roll call, please?
Jenkins,
Here?
Bowersox,
Here.
Wolfest,
Here?
Triplett,
Here.
Van Alstine,
here.
and Vogel.
Okay, number 3 on the agenda is appointment of a vice chair. Could you kind of step through the history of what we've been doing recently?
I would be happy to. So Amber Prignitz has resigned from the Planning and Zoning Commission. She is moving out of Polk City, so she has submitted her resignation effective this month. She was serving as the vice chair for the commission. So the Planning and Zoning Commission can appoint their own chair and vice chair. You do not need city council approval for that, so it is up to the commission to make that appointment, and we're asking for you to do it this evening. Any questions?
And typically, the history of that is we have predominantly gone with the newest person on the board, is that correct?
Ooh, I don't know about that, but I do think you all are trying to serve 2-year terms, right? So the chair is a 2-year term and the vice chair would also be a 2-year term. So I will let the 5 of you discuss that matter, but that is kind of the rules you've all set in previous years.
Yeah, and I think as long as that individual would be willing to serve, and you would get a year and a half as the vice chair before becoming chairman, so have a lot of time to get kind of worked into the situation. So I know personally, I feel you'd be quite capable. Yeah. So I'd like to have a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. So that motion passed. Congratulations.
Good job, Alex.
Item 4 on the agenda is Bridgeview Plat 2, Lot 14, plat of survey. Could we have a developer report, please? And could you state your name and address?
Good evening. My name is Bart Turk. I'm with Civil Engineering Consultants in Urbandale, Iowa. I'm helping Paul Clausen out in our office here. Paul had asked me to attend the meeting since I live here in town. Before you tonight is the plat of survey for Lot 14 of Bridgeview Plat 2, which we are proposing and splitting into 2 parcels. This lot originally contained a stormwater detention basin in which it was determined to split the lot into 2 parcels. So one parcel would be wholly the detention basin and the other parcel is actually a buildable lot. So that's basically it in a nutshell. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Just a quick question before we go to the city engineer. staff provides us a report, and they're normally quite concrete in their language. And they use a sentence that says, it is staff's understanding that the unbuildable portion will be retained and maintained by the homeowners association. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's your understanding and their understanding? Okay.
Understood.
There's a note on the plat of survey that says it's going to be.
Okay, that's what
There we go.
that's what I needed to hear.
I guarantee that transfer until it happens. That's why it's written.
Okay, so, city engineers report.
Yep, so as Bart mentioned, they're gonna split lot 14 into 2 parcels. The key component of that is the parcel that's going to include the detention basin is unbuildable. It's noted as such on the plat of survey, which is why it's a plat of survey and not a plat of subdivision. Polk City Code does require a previously platted lot to be split via plat of subdivision, but gives staff the latitude to be able to make a judgment determination on whether or not a plat of survey is necessary when no additional buildable lots are created. So lot 14 will basically be the same buildable area. It will have the same functional area. It's just being split to where the unbuildable parcel will be owned and maintained by the homeowners association, and then lot 14 can be built upon. Some key components as part of this. So when this goes to council, they'll be approving a construction drawing sidewalk exhibit. So with plats of subdivision, Polk City Code requires sidewalks across unbuildable outlots, overland flowage easements, and trail outlots to be constructed as part of the plat improvements. Obviously, this wasn't done as part of Bridgeview Plat 2 because it was an entirely buildable lot at that point. So what we've done is we've had CEC prepare a sidewalk exhibit that will be approved just as any other construction drawings will be, and then that will be required to be completely done and inspected by Public Works and then accepted by the city before a certificate of occupancy can be issued on lot 14. So that protects both the city and having that sidewalk gap and doesn't overburden the potential property owner building sidewalk across parts that they don't own. I think that's pretty comprehensive of what you're seeing. It's kind of a unique situation where it's a previously platted lot, but we're allowing it to be split via plat of survey, but that's because we're still only gonna have one buildable parcel at the end of it.
Okay, I'm not seeing anyone in the audience for public comment. Do we have any questions from the commission?
Nope, makes sense. Really.
Then I'd entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve the Bridgeview Plat 2, Lot 14 plat of survey, subject to the recommendations and comments of engineer and staff.
Second.
Could I have a roll call, please?
Trueblood,
Yes.
Yes.
Eversol,
Yes.
Wolfett,
Yes.
Van Alstine.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Travis.
Item 5 on the agenda is vacation plat of city-owned property near 113 West Broadway Street, Block 8 of Town of Polk City. And we'll start with the city engineer.
So for the commission's consideration tonight is a plat of survey, as well as some easement documents for the vacation splitting of the existing alleyway, in block, I always get the two mixed up. Is it block 8?
Yeah.
Block 8 of the original Town of Polk City survey. You may be more familiar with, the property directly to the northwest of this alley is the Susie Sheldall Realty Building. There's a vacant lot to the southeast. Basically, what's being proposed is the splitting of the existing lot into 4 separate parcels and then being transferred to the adjacent property owners. Both property owners are agreeable to the situation. Typically, you would see a plat of survey like this, splitting it into 2 parcels right down the middle, but somehow, some way, there was a portion of that alley that got vacated at some point. And then there's also a little itty bitty piece that's less than 0.01 acres that belongs to nobody that has any other real estate in that area. I think it was just something that probably got lost in transfer. And the adjacent property owner has said that they've they have a way of being able to go through that and get that fixed. But basically for council's consideration tonight is that plat of survey for the vacation. We would be looking for a recommendation on the vacation, and then just for your information, there is an existing sanitary sewer easement, which is part of the reason the city has retained that alleyway for so long. So as part of this action, there is a sanitary sewer easement that's being established. That sanitary sewer is somewhere between 6 and 9 feet deep across that parcel. So we have a 20-foot easement that's being granted to us, which meets the Polk City Code. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have, but that's the long and short of what you're considering tonight.
Okay. Again, seeing no one for public comment, any questions from the commission?
Just cleaning up detail.
Yep, and disposing of city-owned property that's
Yeah.
unnecessary at this point.
So again, would entertain a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the project Block 8 alley vacation dated August 14th, and upon the recommendations of the staff.
Second?
And roll call, please.
Olfest,
Yes.
Triplett,
Yes.
Van Alstine,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Bowershaw.
Yes.
Okay, item 6 on the agenda is Block 18 of Town of Polk City, plat of survey, future Polk City Police Station. Start with the engineer's report.
So for the commission's consideration tonight is a plat of survey for the block directly south-ish of the city hall. The city, over the last several years, has acquired all but the one piece of that block. It used to be single-family residential homes, and then the piece in the, what would that be, the southwest corner is the CenturyLink building. That will be retained. But basically, this plat of survey comes in and consolidates all those lots into a single lot for the future redevelopment. As far as I know, the redevelopment of that lot is not particularly imminent, but this was just something that we had concepting in the CIP, so getting this item cleaned up was something that needed to happen. During Snyder and Associates research on this plat of survey, we did find that there are 2 pieces of alleyway in that block that have never been vacated. And you would think that because it's all city-owned, it doesn't really matter, but we have to vacate those alleyways because there are certain rights placed on those parcels, particularly as it relates to franchise utilities, and vacation cleans that part up. So as part of this action, we will be vacating those 2 remnant alleyways and then consolidating all of those parcels into a single parcel for future redevelopment.
Okay, see no one in the audience at this time, so any questions from the commission?
I do have a quick question. So let's just say, I love the idea, I love the cleanup. But let's just say we have a developer come to town and say, ooh, I love that parcel. Are we wedded to the police station there, or is that something that is potentially as an opportunity? Okay.
The council purchased the property with the intention of it being a police station, but I think that if there was a proposal, they'd consider it. In all honesty, like doing the plat of survey here does make sense though, because it makes it even better for that type of scenario as well.
Absolutely.
You would want it done either way.
Yes, no, absolutely, I agree. No, I think it's great. I was just thinking that there might be more interest that way. I'm just saying.
So I'd entertain a motion if there's no further questions.
I'd make a motion that we approve the plat of survey, Block 18, subject to the recommendations and comments of staff and engineer.
Second.
And roll call, please.
Triplett,
Yes.
Van Alstine,
Yes.
Jenkins,
Yes.
Bowershaw,
Yes.
Olfest.
Yes.
And number 7 on the agenda is architectural standards update.
Yeah, we just wanted to give a quick verbal update to the commission. We haven't forgot about our conversation in June. Summer gets super busy and we're still working on those. Our intent would be to bring them back to you for further discussion either in September or October, depending on how schedules shake out and I'll tell you, if it gets really cold the first week of October, it's gonna get really, really busy, because everybody's gonna freak out and want Cody to inspect their stuff. But that's kind of our intent. We'll continue to take the feedback that we got at the last meeting, continue to do research around the metro, and hopefully bring you something that's all encompassing for the discussion we had previously. And then, did you want to talk about something that wasn't on the agenda?
Yeah, I've got another item, if you guys. I can do it for staff comments.
Any questions about architectural standards at this point? Okay.
And, yeah, we don't have, I guess, staff comments on the agenda, but I'm assuming we want to go through that exercise.
I think he,
I do see that, and I think Cody just has an update.
Yes.
So he's not asking you to take action.
Okay, great.
Yeah, just wanted to provide a little update. There was a permit that came across my desk. It was early this year, 1200 Phillips for an accessory structure. Council received some complaints recently in the last month or two from an adjacent property owner concerned about accessory structure, I guess, standards or code requirements. Thought it maybe took up too much area of the adjacent neighbor's yard. If you have a chance to ever drive by, you can kind of look and see what they're talking about. The structure was permitted properly. It met all the current code requirements, but there has been talk that council may like to discuss that further. So just bring it to your attention more or less tonight to have that on your radar.
Is this size and appearance, or just one or the other?
I think it was mainly related to the size in the backyard. There were no real architectural standards that applied. It all met current code requirements. So kind of on the flip side of that, I've dealt with some newer construction builds out on Big Creek Ridge, and those estate lots definitely hold the ability to have a lot grander building than what our codes kind of require right now. I've dealt with the builder recently over the last couple weeks, having to get him to more or less restrict what he's wanting to build to match the house out there. So I don't know if that's something that the commission entertains down the road. I don't feel like that'll be the last scenario out in that plat, that somebody wants to build a really large accessory structure for added use, but just wanted to bring that to your attention and put it on your radar as well. So I don't know how you proceed with that, but just kind of my 2 cents on what I'm seeing with applications recently. So
What was the address on that again, on Phillips?
1200.
1200, okay, that's what I thought you said.
And currently, do we have any size limitations? I thought we
do. I kind of administer the cumulative of the rear and side yard can't be occupied by more than 30% of an extra accessory structure, and it's limited to 16-foot average height.
And to be frank, accessory structures are almost always controlled by the building height.
Yep.
Because that building height is the average between the peak and the bottom of the roof. And so you basically, you're controlled by that roof slope and how big you can make it and still get the slope to get the water off.
Okay.
That's mostly what drives the size is, and Cody can say in more detail, but very rarely do we ever get close to the percentage of accessory structure. It's almost entirely driven by that building height requirement.
Yep. And I think the general idea behind it is to prevent massive post frame buildings going up in backyards, whereas the covenants won't allow that on a place like Big Creek Ridge. A lot of those are gonna match the character of the primary structure, so I don't know how you move forward with that, if it is needing or wanting change, but like I say, just trying to give you my 2 cents on what I'm seeing for a permit application so far, and we're just kind of getting started out there, so.
Has anyone seen other ordinances in the metro that are more limiting than ours?
I haven't put any time into researching that currently, but definitely can look into that and see what's being administered around the metro.
Okay, so that's a topic for future discussion, and we appreciate you giving us a heads up on that.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so, I guess we don't have on here anything related to, commission comments, but does anyone have any comments before we adjourn?
Nope.
So, and then anything else from staff
I don't have anything, thank you.
and, council? Okay, thanks. So number 8, I'd recommend
So moved.
a,
Adjourned.
and a second for that? Oh, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? And meeting is adjourned. Thanks, folks.
Good job.